What's up, Commanders? My name is Alex, and today it's Loyalist versus Traitor as the Raven Guard take on the Thousand Sons in a 1,000-point Horus Heresy battle report. Will the Psykers of Prospero be victorious, or will the Sons of Deliverance be able to outflank them? Let's find out.
Here is 1,000 points of Raven Guard. This is using the Decapitation Strike Rite of War. So let's go through the units. The force is going to be led by Strike Captain Alvarix Mon, accompanied by 5 more Dathan snipers with sniper rifles. I've given the Mordathan Shade, the squad leader, Artificer Armor, and an Improviser so that they can see in the dark. 5 Dark Furies will be providing some melee support. The leader is again going to have Artificer Armor, and I also gave them Melt-A-Bombs in case they need to get up and close with some heavy equipment. For troops, I got 2 identical tac squads kitted out, Artificer Armor, Vexillas, Nuncios, the whole 9 yards. I also gave both the leaders Melt-A-Bombs and Improvisers for the same reason as the Mordathans and Dark Furies. Being able to start with night fighting would be a huge advantage for these guys. And last but not least, we have a Damocles Command Rhino. This is going to help with the drop pods as they come in, and also gives me an orbital bombardment that I can use once per game. And I had 5 points left over, so I went ahead and gave it some extra armor. And the Sons of Prospero are a much more elite force. I'm going to be using a Pride of the Legion deployment with some veteran tacticals led by Armon. Let's take a look at the units. Chief Librarian Ozzik Armon will lead this force. Now, I didn't roll, I don't think, very well for the divination spells. He's going to have perfect timing, precognition, misfortune, and Scryer's Gaze from the divination discipline, as well as prescience, the Primaris power. I like foreboding and forewarning a lot more, but them's the keeps. Armon's going to be riding along in a Rhino with 9 Thousand Sons veterans. The leader's going to have a power sword, we've got a Vexilla, and a single Melta-Gun in the squad. Because they're Brotherhood of Psykers, they were able to roll and got precognition, and of course prescience is the Primaris power that they can use as a squad. And lastly, for veteran tactics, I'm going to have them scout. And another 10 vets are going to be riding in another Rhino. This one is going to have 2 plasma guns, power sword on the leader, and a Vexilla. It's also going to have the Misfortune divination power, as well as prescience, the Primaris. And both squads of veterans are going to have the Asphyx Shells upgrades to give all of their bolters shred. Lastly, we have a Contemptor Mortis Dreadnought. He's going to have 2 twin-linked las cannons. I also went ahead and gave him some extra armor for 5 points. So let's take a look at the board. We're going to do a Dawn of War style deployment, and the mission's going to be Shatter Strike, which means at the end of the game, armies are going to have victory points based on how many units they have in their opponent's deployment zone. So we're trying to get to the opposite side of the board. We're going to do a roll off for deployment. The black die is going to be for Raven Guard, green is for Thousand Sons. And that's a tie. There we go. Thousand Sons are going to be able to deploy first. Forces have done their initial deployment. The Raven Guard Dark Furies are over here in cover waiting to pounce, and the Damocles is over here waiting to coordinate the drop sight. On the Thousand Sons side, we've got the 2 Rhinos filled with vets. Armon is on the left one, and then we've got the Contemptor Mortis Dreadnought. Now, the drop pods are still in reserve for obvious reasons. The Mordathan and Strike Captain Alvarix Mon are both infiltrating, so we'll see where they go, and then we'll check for Seize the Initiative. Strike Captain Alvarix Mon and his Mordathan snipers were able to infiltrate into this ruin, and then the Thousand Sons Rhinos were able to scout ahead and start taking the initiative. Let's see if we have night fighting on a 4-up, and we do. That's going to be very beneficial for the Raven Guard. Let's see if the Raven Guard are able to seize the initiative. Because of Strike Captain Alvaric's mom, they get to re-roll the roll. So 2 chances to get a 6 here. Nope. And nope. Let's go to Thousand Suns, turn 1. In the moving phase, all I really did was move the rhinos up at cruising speed, trying to get into that back line before the drop pods come in. So let's go ahead and go into the psychic phase. We're getting 6 warp charges from Armon and the 2 vets, plus another d6 for 12 total. In the psychic phase, I'll have Armon do the Witchfire Misfortune on the Damocles Command Rhino, see if we can have it rending when I try to shoot it with my Dreadnought. So I'm going to use 6 Warp Charge. He's got the Arcane Litany, so I'm not too concerned about a Perils of the Warp here. No perils, and the Raven Guard are going to try to deny, but they only get 2 successes compared to the 4 Warp Charge generated, so all attacks against the Damocles now have rending. In the shooting phase, my Contemptor Mortis Dreadnought will try to attack the Damocles. Now it's in heavy cover and it's nighttime, so it's going to be a bit hard to get there, but hopefully the rending will help. 2 last shots, twin linked, not needing it though, and wounding on 4s for a glance with rend. So 2 penetrating hits. Because of the ruins and it being nighttime, the Rhino actually has a 3-up cover save against both of these, but 1 fails, so that is a penetrating hit. Let's see what happens. And we get a 3. Just crew shaken, but that's not really going to matter for the Damocles itself. But I did take a hull point off, so that's the important thing. And 2 plasma shots are going to go into the Damocles from this Rhino from the fire points. Because it moved at cruising speed, we're only going to be able to snap fire. But we did get 1 hit, but no hits or penetrating hits. Armin's Rhino has a Combi Volter that I'll use to shoot at the more Dathans up there in rapid fire range. And Asphyx shells. Rhino actually does not get Asphyx. So the Mordathan have a 4-up cover save from Stealth in the Ruins, and they don't get it. So that's going to be 1 Mordathan hiding there in cover. This Rhino's going to do the same thing. Try to take out some more in rapid fire range. 2 shots, but no wounds. So they're safe from that attack. So these 2 Rhinos are going to try to take some pot shots at the Mordathans. They move at cruising speed, so they're only snap firing. We'll start with Armons here. Actually getting a hit and a wound. Got a 3-up save from the Mordathan, and they fail it, so that's actually 1 gone. Let's try again for the other Rhino. 2 hits and 2 wounds. So the closest one, it looks like, is actually the Sergeant. I'm just going to put both on him for 2-up saves, and he makes them both. So that concludes the first turn for the Thousand Suns. Now the Raven Guard will be able to drop in some reinforcements. The thunderous roar of engines, the crushing of steel, heralds the coming of the first drop pod of the Raven Guard. The only other thing that's going to happen in the moving phase is these Dark Furies are going to make their way up the battlefield. I'm going to use their jump packs in the moving phase. They won't be able to charge, but there's everything in Rhino still, so I'm not worried about that. So let's get them moved up towards the Thousand Suns. Moving up like that. So let's go into the shooting phase for the Raven Guard. So these tacticals are going to try to pop this Rhino and expose the psychic flesh bags within. 5 of these guys are in rapid fire range, so we got 15 shots. And we're fishing for 6s. The Rhino is down but not out. It has taken 2 hull points. Let's try the drop pod's combi bolter. We've got 2 shots in rapid fire, only 1 going through, but needing a 6 here. Nothing. The Mordathan are going to advance in the shooting phase an additional 2 inches. Going like that. The Mordathan sniper rifles aren't going to do anything to the Rhinos, so we'll do an orbital bombardment. Gonna call the barrage right on top of the Contemptor Mortis Dreadnought. So, see how far it scatters. For a total of none with BS4. We're going to use armor value 12 because of Lance. So, glancing on a 2, but let's see if we can get some really devastating results here. That is a penetrating hit. So the Damocles doesn't have any kind of improviser or night vision scoping, so I guess the Dreadnought does have a stealth save of 6 up, but it fails. Let's see what the vehicle damage is. 4. Crew stun is not the result I was looking for. I was hoping to take out 1 or 2 of the las cannons, but guess we'll take it. So that concludes round 1. The Raven Guard were able to take a couple wounds off of that Rhino, but overall the Thousand Sons are mostly unscathed. That Damocles is pretty damaged and used its bombardment, and a sniper is down, so it's still anyone's game. Let's go into the Thousand Sons turn 2. In the movement phase, I think it's time to disembark some Thousand Sons. Right now, I think the biggest threats on the board are those Dark Furies, because if they get into combat, they're just going to chop up these veterans real easy. So I'm going to see if I can get some of them knocked down. So the vets hopped out of the Rhino, and the Rhino kept booking it towards the deployment, hoping to have at least something in the back line for scoring. And the veterans are out there ready to shoot at the Dark Furies. Let's see what these guys are going to do. So I shimmied and pivoted the Rhino back a bit, just to provide some cover from these tacticals. And then the vets are able to at least see and fire some psychic abilities at the Dark Furies, try to weaken them up in the psychic phase. So I think that's all I want to move, because the Dreadnought doesn't really have to go anywhere. He's got pretty long range. So let's go into the psychic phase. Warp charge of 4 on top of the 6 that we have from the 2 vet squads in Ahriman. Starting off, Ahriman's going to try to cast Misfortune onto these Dark Furies, going to give everything rending against them. It's really only going to help the plasma, but I don't have much else to spend warp charge on, so I'm going to throw 3 at it. That does not go off. Not the end of the world, though. Next, I'm going to have Ahriman try Prescience on his own squad. Not getting that either. Try the other vet squad getting their own Prescience off. Wow, they are not doing too well. Got 1 left. Ahriman will try a Precognition. Just needed 1 warp charge. That is a complete whiff from the psychic phase for the Thousand Sons. You guys are only really good at one thing. What are you doing? Start with this unit of vets attacking the Dark Furies. Only 1 is in rapid fire range. 8 bolters and a rapid fire shot. Rerolling 1s because they are Divination Thousand Sons. And wounding on 4s. Asphyx shells, let them reroll. We'll start with the Sergeant. He's closest, and I'm feeling pretty lucky. So let's roll some 2-ups. Good. 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 Ooh. So he dies, and we'll do a 3-up. Made it. So just the Sarge dies. 2 plasma shots. 2s to wound. 2 wounds. AP2 means only 2 guys are remaining after those plasma shots. With that, I think the Dark Furies are neutered enough, so these vets are going to go after the Mordathans and Strike Captain Alvric's Mon hidden up in the ruins. Nothing in rapid fire, but we've got some bolter guns that are going to be shooting at them. Here's 8 shots. Rerolling the 1. Wounding on 4s. Ooh, let's get some focus on there. There we go. And the Aztec shells get shred. So the 2 closest are the regular guys, and then we go into Strike Captain Alvric's Mon and the Sergeant. So I'll take these 5 saves 2 at a time. And 1 at a time. Alright, so we got 2 left. We're just going to take these on the Sergeant. 2 up. And 2 up. Oh, that's not good. We got some combi vulture shots. We'll have this Rhino go at this tac squad. And twin linked. 4s. And a 3-up save. Made it. That guy at the Mordathan sniper there in the back. And 4s to wound. 2 wounds. We'll do these 1 at a time. First 3-up. Nope. And Strike Captain Alvric's Mon himself. 2-up save. Made it. Now the Dreadnought has free reign to hit Strike Captain Alvric's Mon, who is unprotected. 2 shots, twin linked, but snap firing. And let's twin linked. Nothing. These guys need to take leadership. That is just barely okay. Their leadership 8. Overall, a very good turn for the Thousand Sons. Able to take out all of the Mordathan snipers, most of the Dark Furies, and still having most of their full force, just having a single wound on the Rhino. But the Raven Guard now have a chance to strike back. They've got these tacticals unscathed and another drop pod set to come in. Where are they going to go? Are they even coming in? Let's find out. So are these guys coming in? I get to add or subtract 1 to the roll from the Rhino and re-roll the roll with Strike Captain Alvric's Mon. So probably. And they are. Another Roar of Thunder as the Raven Guard drop pod number 2 comes into play. Alvric's Mon's going to tuck into the corner here, try to block line of sight from the Dreadnought. It's really the biggest threat. Last cannons give it instant death against him. These guys are going to advance forward up the battlefield, moving up like that, getting within range of Armon and his squad. Unfazed by the defeat of their brothers, the Dark Furies move up, ready to strike whichever squad is weakest after the shooting phase. The Raven Guard have the Thousand Sons exactly where they want them. They're going to crossfire the 2 squads. Let's start here. Tacticals against vets. 20 shots coming in. Wounding on 4s. So the first 6 will go to 3-up saves, then we'll see if it gets the Sergeant after that. 6 3-ups. And 2 more 3-ups. So 3 total die. That does take out the Vexilla, so that may come into effect. And for good measure, the drop pod will also shoot into them. And 4s, nothing. So it looks like these 2 models on the far side don't exactly have line of sight because of that terrain piece. So we're going to have 8 guys shooting in at the Thousand Sons. 16 shots. Re-rolling the 1 because of preferred enemy. And 4s to wound. Two to re-roll because of preferred enemy independent characters. So luckily it looks like the Sergeant and Armon himself are both out of line of sight. So all 4 wounds are going to be allocated to just regular vets with 3-up armor. And here they come. And they make all of them. Let's have the combi bolter go. And twin linked. Force to wound. Nothing. Damocles in the back there can take some pot shots at that vet squad. Let's just try it. And force to wound. Nothing. These guys need to make a morale check. The leader's still there, so they're at 9, and they pass. Let's go into charge clock. The Dark Furies are going to charge into that veteran squad. First, they get to Overwatch. 12 bolter shots after rapid fire. And rolling the ones from Divination. Actually got 4 hits with snap firing, so force to wound. But they do have asphyx shells, so we'll be able to re-roll some of these. Wow, all 4 hit. And we've got 3 up saves. If there are 2 fails, then those guys go bye-bye. 1 failed, but 1 is still remaining. And 2 plasma shots for Overwatch, failing both. So the lone Dark Fury is going to try to charge in here. It's not enough, but he does get to re-roll. That's also not enough. Sorry, buddy, your jump pack failed you. Oh, and I guess they do have to take morale, don't they? Leadership 8, they're fine. Not the best counterattack from the Raven Guard. I was hoping that they would do a lot more, especially hoping that those 2 guys would get in, but kind of the opposite happened. They actually went down a guy. So, that concludes round 2. Let's go into Thousand Sons, turn 3. I think the goal here needs to be for both of these squads to take out the tactical squads before they can do a Fury of the Legion attack next turn. To that end, this guy's going to pivot and move back just to give them a bit more breathing room. This guy is going to keep going into the deployment zone for the Raven Guard. Alright, Armand, you feeling psychic now? Can you actually do something for the psychic phase this turn? Let's see what their warp charge is. 5. Alright, we're going to have 3 abilities coming from Armand. We're going to try Prescience on his unit and the other vets, as well as a Precognition on himself. So let's do Prescience on his own unit. Getting nothing. And the other unit of vets, with 7 remaining. They do get it. We'll go ahead and have the Raven Guard try to deny that. Only needing 2, but not getting it. They only got 1 denial. And lastly, Armand will try to do Precognition. That will allow him to reroll his saves, which may help in the coming turns. And he does get that off. I did forget to rearrange these guys. It's not going to make a difference, so I'm just going to move these guys around. All right, it's time to shoot. 16 bolter shots. Rerolling ones because of Divination. Force to wound. And it's shred time. We've got 6 in front before we get to the sergeants. We'll take the first 6 of the 7, 3 ups, and the last one, 2 die. Next, let's do Melta Boy. Shooting on 3s and wounding on 2s. AP1, that guy just goes splat. And Armand gets to shoot his pistol. Forced to wound, but he has Precognition. Gets to reroll the fail. Still doesn't do anything. So the combi bolter on the Rhino, 2 rapid fire shots, twin linked, and forced to wound. And we'll do a 3-up save. Nothing. The Vexilla dies. So not enough to bring them down below strength for Fury of the Legion, but maybe morale will take them out. Let's check this other unit out. 12 shots from the bolters coming in on those guys. These guys did get the Prescience off, so we're going to re-roll all the failed hits. Here are the re-rolls. Forced to wound with asphyx shells. Man, these guys are not rolling too well. Luckily they have the re-roll. We'll take them 4 at a time. So we got 8 hits. And 1 fail. 3 more. And 2 fail. 1 guy remaining. So 3 guys die from that squad. Let's have the Combi Bolter go at them too. 3s and 4s. 3-up save. Made it. And almost forgot the plasma guy. 1 plasma shot. Rapid fire coming in. 3s and 2s. So the first one goes to this guy. The next one would go to the sergeant, so I'll look out sir that on a 4-up. And it'll go to this guy. Morale clock. These guys still have the sergeant, so leadership 9. Ooh. That's not good. They don't have the Vexilla to reroll either. How far are they falling back? 7 inches. And those guys have broken. Let's see if these guys can do any better. Going back a bit, this guy is going to shoot at the tactical marines over there. Let's do 2 twin-linked last shots. 2s. So that actually takes out 2 of these guys. Let's roll morale for these guys. They still have the Vexilla, but their sergeant is dead. Cool. Let's hope for something lower there. Alright, they're good. Not a bad turn for Thousand Sons. They're able to break that squad of tacticals. This guy was able to finish off the sergeant and that squad of tacticals. So both of their core troops units are pretty much broken at this point. There's not a whole lot that I think the Raven Guard can do to come back at this point. Alright, do these guys rally? And they don't actually, because the sergeant's still there. Just barely. So going into this turn, I think the priority is getting that squad down, hopefully removing their ability to score. I think that's really the Raven Guard's only chance to win at this point. These guys will just move up a bit. The Dark Fury is also going to move up. Hopefully we'll be able to get into combat this turn. And those guys cannot move. So, Raven Guard shooting. See if we can take them down a peg. 12 rapid fire shots coming in from the tacticals into the vets. Snap firing. Still getting a couple. Forced to wound. Getting 1. Looks like that would go on the sergeant, so I'm just going to take it. 2 up. Made it. 6 bolter shots from there with the same squad. Only 1 hit, but 1 wound. 3 up. No. Got 1. Both the drop pods are going to attack into that squad as well. So neither of them are in rapid fire. I'm just going to roll them both. And 4s. Not much from shooting. Only 1 guy died. But let's see if that Dark Fury can get in. Using his jump pack, he's definitely in. Let's resolve the Hammer of Wrath attack. Strength 4, Tough 4. Nothing for Hammer of Wrath. Going into initiative step 5, the Dark Fury gets 4 attacks into the vets. 4s to hit. Rerolling because of Mastercrafted. 4s to wound with Shred. First wound goes to the guy in base contact. Next would hit the sergeant, who does get a save against this. 2 up, and it's saved. Let's start with the Power Sword attack. 3 attacks from the Power Sword guy with the pistol. Wounding on 4s. Nothing. And 4 Chainsword Marines coming in. They also have pistols with 3 attacks apiece. And 4s to wound. 3 up save. And he dies. Raven Guard fired everything that they had at the Thousand Sons. They pretty much brushed it off. So I think the best move for the Thousand Sons right now, those vets need to get into the enemy deployment zone within the next turn or two. Hopefully that will allow the Thousand Sons to get a couple extra victory points. These guys are going to try to take out these tacticals, prevent them from getting to the deployment zone. Those vets moving in like that to try to box in the tacticals. See where they're going. Moving like that should be able to at least damage, if not take out those 3 tacticals in the shooting phase. But first we need to do psychic phase. How much warp charge do we have? 4 for a total of 10 for the Thousand Sons. Armon's going to try to do prescience on this unit. I need to get these guys below 5 or else they'll be able to Fury of the Legion right back into these guys. 4 warp charge, I need 2, and I get it. So have the Raven Guard try to deny that. And they don't. Do 2 for precognition on Armon, getting it with just 1. And the 4 remaining warp charge, those guys will use prescience on themselves. Getting it. Start over here. Vets shooting into the tacticals. 16 shots going into the tacticals from the bolters. Rerolling because of prescience. 4s to wound. And asphyx shells letting them re-roll the wound roll. What do you got? They've got 8 saves to make. We'll take them 2 at a time to start. 3 up. 3 up. 3 up. 3 up. 3 up. Ooh. And yeah, let's go ahead and put it on the sergeant. He's good. 3s and 2s. Does not hit with the Melta. Huh. And Armon has a master-crafted bolt pistol. 3s. 2s, but still hits. And does not wound, but it's got prescience. Still did not wound. It was enough to cause a leadership check. So let's do that real quick. Let's try the combi bolters going in there. 3s and 4s. And 2 up save. Made it. Those vets shooting into those 3 remaining tacticals. 8 bolter shots. Rerolling fails. It's slightly better. 4s with asphyx shells. Rerolling from shred. 6 3-up saves. 2 die. If the Rhino can finish him off. 3s and 4s. Nope. Can the Dreadnought finish him off? 2s and 2s. And that should do it with AP -2. So after that turn, I think I'm pretty much going to call it here. Raven Guard aren't really going to have a chance to fight back. They've got these 4 tacticals, but they're not going to be able to get past that line. We've got 2 points for the drop pod there, 2 points for the Thousand Sons for the Rhino back there, plus another 2 coming in from the veterans that are troops in the Pride of the Legion. On top of that, they're going to have attrition. They didn't slay the Warlord, so it's pretty much a Thousand Sons victory guaranteed at this point. So that's it for this game of Horus Heresy. Hope you enjoyed it. This is my first time filming a game of Heresy, so if I made any mistakes, I apologize. Feel free to leave a comment below of what I need to improve upon. But this was a Horus Heresy Batrep. My name is Alex. Thanks for watching.